Кто у нас?
Okay. Happy Ellie. A recording.
Yes.
All right, good. I want to remind everybody the whole Devarim, is all about Moshe Rabbeinu giving tochachot, right, to Bnei Israel. That's the whole thing, right? Giving us, and he learns it from Yaakov Avinu. 37 days before Moshe passes, the old Devarim is written and spoken of 37 days before he passed. The whole purpose of what it, and he learned it from who? From Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu gave all the tochachot that he wanted to give. He gave it at the end of his life. You know, you saw with Reuven, Shimon, Levi, he never said a word his entire life until his deathbed, which is crazy to think, because that means that we should be doing the same thing. You know, we should be really holding it in. But I guess, you know, whatever, something to aspire to. One of the things that he says, one of the things that Moshe Rabbeinu says, is Zachor al tishkach as et asher hiksafta, right? V'Hashem elokecha lemin hayom asher yatzata miMitzrayim mamrim hayiti Hashem. So he says that remember and don't forget, right, that you provoked Hashem from the minute you left Mitzrayim until today, which is 40 years later. Okay, this is harsh stuff. He says you provoked Hashem from the minute you left Mitzrayim. It's like from the minute you got in the car, you kids don't stop talking, you know. So the minute you left Mitzrayim until we got here today, and the pasuk says u'b'chorev hiksavtem, and the pasuk continues to say that you also provoked Hashem you provoked Hashem by Har Horev, which is Har Sinai also. Okay, so again, the pasuk says that you provoked Hashem from the minute you left Mitzrayim all the way until now, which is 40 years later. And at the same time, he writes the next pasuk says Ubchorev hiksavtem et Hashem v'yitanaf Hashem b'achem lashmid echem, and you angered God by Har Horev, and he wanted to destroy you. These are the two pesukim. The very simple question is why, if Moshe Rabbeinu already said from Aleph until Tav, from the beginning until the end, why is he now saying, why is he bringing something that happened in the middle? Why is he bringing up the Egel? He didn't bring up the Meraglim, which we are paying for till today. He didn't bring up the time with the man, that we complained about the man. He didn't say Meh Merivah, that he complained about the water, specifically Har Sinai. And he poetically says, V'halo bichlal ma'atayim maneh. It's a saying in Baba Kama where if you have 100, if I say I'm going to give Sasha, I'm giving you 200. Okay? Take off. What do you have to be on? What's it called for? Turn your mute off. It's interactive. Don't worry about the kid. So he says, so the Gemara over there, Baba Kama says that if I'm going to say I'm going to give you $1 million, I'm not also going to say, and in that million I'm going to give you 300. It's included. So if you're saying from the beginning until the end, it's pashut that it's talking about from the beginning until the end. It's pashut that it's also including the egel. So why davka is pashut? We know there's not one letter in the Torah that's extra. So what is the purpose of Moshe Rabbeinu specifically bringing out Har Sinai, what we did by the egel? Listen to this. This is very good. The kavanah Moshe Rabbeinu was to say, tell Bnei Israel, Hashem knows what's in your heart from the beginning. He knew that you're a rebellious people, and he knew that you're what's it called? That you're going to provoke him. But the rest of the world did not know that. Meaning, you have a people that are together, that are married together, whatever. You always such nice people. And God forbid you find out the worst news. What happened? They were such good people. How could it be? Because nobody knows what happens behind closed doors. Nobody knows what's really right. Sasha, you like that one, right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Right?
Such a nice couple. Yeah.
It's a nice couple. So same thing here. Hashem knew that we were Am Keshei Oreh, but the rest of the world didn't know until we did the Egel. Once we did the Egel, all of a sudden the Goyim were like, the same. They're not different people. They're all the same. Right? Right? So, because how do we know? It says in Beshalach, right? In Parashat Dalet. We're doing Drush Dalet. It says in Beshalach, right? All the things that Hashem knew about Bnei Israel. Hashem knew not to send Bnei Israel derech eretz pelishtim. Why? Because we're going to freak out and see what's going on. We're going to run back to Mitzrayim. He knew that, right? The world didn't know that, but he knew that. So he knew what was in our minds. But the rest of the world didn't know what was going on in our minds, right? When we get to Har Sinai, what do we say? Two famous words, Naaseh v'nishma. Right? Ekev Dalet, Sasha. Ekev Dalet. Pei Shin, Pei He.
Got it.
So it says in the Midrash something it says something that you're never going to hear, you never heard, and you probably never get to hear again. He says, the Midrash says, he connects it on the pasuk that Moshe is explaining when I finished writing the Luchot, to a pasuk in Daniel, Lecha Adonai HaTzedakah, Velanu Poshet HaPanim. You, Hashem, is all the righteousness, Velanu, us, we're all embarrassed. What does that mean? The Midrash is explaining, it makes sense that Bnei Israel said Naaseh v'nishma, because it's showing that we have an element of rebelliousness in us. By saying, we'll do, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll do it. Just tell me what it is. It was an element, not Dafka bad. It was an element of showing that we're being haughty and being that's the short of a rebelliousness. The question is that the question is, what does this mean? Hold on. Oh, okay. The end of the Midrash explains that why was it showing like in a bad way? Because just as we said Naaseh v'nishma to Hashem, we also said about the Egel, right? Ele Elohecha Yisrael, the Erev Ratzah. This is our new God. This is our new Hashem. So by saying that, it's obvious that they're very quick to say things. You understand? So right, Avi, you get it?
Yeah. No, just
ask me if you got it. Right. So he's what is the Midrash coming to teach you? You understand the question? The question is that it's Genai that we said Naaseh v'nishma. It made sense to say that it's in a bad way because of the pasuk in Daniel that Hashem knows everything and we are embarrassed. Why are we embarrassed? Because just like we were so quick to say Naaseh v'nishma, we were also quick to say Ele Elokecha Yisrael, right? Which is talking about the Egel. So the question is, what is the purpose of this Midrash? What's it coming to teach us? It's Pashut. It's obvious that by knowing the Midrash has to come and teach you something new, not just Stam. It's coming to teach you something new. So by knowing these two comments, we already know this. So there's got to be something deeper, right? And besides the fact, we also know that the word Naaseh v'nishma was not really a good thing. Why? Because what does the Midrash say about when we say Naaseh v'nishma? What's Naaseh corresponding to? Torah shebichtav. We'll do whatever it says. But when it came time, when Hashem said that the rabbis are going to come in every generation and going to make gezerot, and they're going to know what's better for you than what you know that's better for you, that we said, nishma, we'll listen to it. We're not sure. Till Hashem comes, when Hagigit comes and says, say yes now, or this is it. And we say, okay, you win, sure. I was joking. Right? So we're showing in a gena, in a bad way. Okay, and who says this? The Zera Berach brings this. He brings the Parashat Yitro in the name of the Midrash Tarhuma that says Hashem put Har Gigit on top of us. It was specifically because of Torah Sheba'al Peh. Torah Shebichtav, we were all in. Yeah, Hashem, your God, no problem. Whatever you say, we do. But now with the Hachamim, I don't know. They don't understand, and yada yada. We're not sure. That's why in the Gemara, all the gezerot that they made, I learned that they did not reveal the reason of the gezerah for 12 months. For 12 months. Why? Because everyone's going to say by themselves, they're going to say, you did it, it doesn't apply to me. I don't have to worry about that. So because the Hakamim don't want to take a risk and don't want people undermining them, so they didn't give the reason why. Because if they would have given the reason, it would have been bad. People wouldn't take it seriously. So we had the same problem. So again, that's the whole issue with Benishma. So you can learn this in a bad way, right? So we learned two things. One is the Midrash explained, giving the pasuk in Daniel, saying just like we were so quick to say it for Hashem, for the Torah, we were just as quick to say it for the Egel. The second thing we bring is the Zera Berach, right? It's the rabbi in the 1500s, I think. That says the whole purpose of Hagigit is because Naaseh, we were willing to accept, and Nishma, we weren't so willing, right? Till Hashem forced us to accept it, right? And now, how do we do it? But, however, we do it Naaseh Nishma in a good way. We don't say it in a bad way. We always say it's in a good way. There's a Gemara in Shabbat, Pei Hayt Amud Aleph, that says that I think it was a mean or some I think it was a mean that goes over to Rava, and he tells him, "You guys are impulsive. You guys are crazy. You guys say you sign the contract before reading it. Why? Because who says the whole contract? Not seven ishma. You're willing to take it. You're willing to take the what's it called so quickly. You don't even know what you're taking. What does Rava answer? Rava answers a pasuk in Mishle. It says Tumam Yeshkarim Tanhem, which means that we go in the straight, completely in the straight path. Which means what? Which means that no matter what, we trust in Hashem, and we know that Hashem is not going to give us something that we can't handle. You understand? So that Ravad explained, why do we say Naaseh V'Ishma? Because we're not worried.
What did he answer? What was he answered in pasuk? What's the pasuk?
Pasuk Mishle. YD. Give us your screen and give us your voice. We bring
Wait,
the pasuk.
You don't stand?
I'm telling you, the pasuk Mishle. No, not you. Pasuk Mishle says Tumam Yesharim Tanhem, which means we go in complete faith. We go in complete faith. What does that mean, go in complete faith? Meaning we trust Hashem. We're not worried about what he's saying. What Hashem tells us to do, we're not worried because we know that he's not going to give us something we cannot handle. So Rava is answering the mean, I don't care. We're not worried. We know that we said not Naaseh V'Nishma because we know that Hashem is going to... Look, we learned two proofs to say how you can learn it in a bad way. Okay? But now we're saying that we know we Doresh really in a good way. What's the good way? That we had full emunah and bitachon in Hashem. Avi, what's the difference between emunah and bitachon? Two different words. What does it mean?
So emunah, bitachon is knowing, like batuach. You know that Hashem provides and that Hashem does everything for the good. Right?
Good. So
I know I'm getting my paycheck. You know.
So the word you're looking for is trust.
Trust. No.
Trust.
I'm
telling you. I'm helping you. It means trust is the word. Why you trust? Because they'll give you 10 things.
I feel like it's more of a depend on.
So I think that the difference of what we're trying to get to is 100% dependent. That's 100%
right.
Bitachon is what you do. Emunah is what you say. You.
Nice.
Emunah is your heart, like what you look in your heart. Who said that?
My boy Sasha.
Very nice.
Okay. So
like normally, I've heard that also, and the same idea. The idea that Hashem doesn't give you nisayon unless you can hold it.
Unless you can handle it.
Unless you can handle it. The very fact itself that Hashem gave you some nisayon, meaning you can overcome it. So that's what you're saying, like that they had from the beginning.
I have a question on that. I agree with you, but then we have a problem. We know by Hadith Sinai, the Midrash says that we kept mooting, kept dying, and then we asked Moshe, we need you to read us the rest of the Torah because we can't handle Hashem saying it. So how could that be? You understand the question? You're saying all of us agree, including Reuven, right? We agree that that Hashem doesn't give us something we can't handle.
Right.
Right? So if that's true, how could it be that by Hadith Sinai we kept dying so we couldn't handle it? We need you to do it.
No, so that the very thing, it shows the lack of emunah. Yeah.
So the answer is right. So the answer is that Hashem gave us the ability to withstand it. He did, but we chose to opt out. We didn't want to do the extra mile. We didn't want to run the extra lap.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was very hard. Yes, agreed. It was very hard. But look, anything you want from Hashem, you have to be willing to put
You,
into
you
it.
go into some nisayon comes up, and then you say, "Oh no, I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it," and like you go and give up. Yeah. So in the same,
Really, you can. Right.
yeah, but really, you could, go an extra mile, like you said, and
There was a
Yeah.
story about a rabbi. I forget one of the big Gedolim. I forgot who. They were in Europe, and a guy had a store, and another guy comes running in on Shabbat, telling him that there was a big fire in town, and the guy's store was burnt down. The guy hears this, a retail store. The guy hears this, and he faints. So they revive him, and then he comes back, and and he faints again, and 3 times the guy fainted. From the stress and the pressure of that information, he blacked out. The rabbi tells him, "Don't worry, your store didn't burn down." Tells him, he said, "Don't worry, it wasn't your store." He goes, "No, the guy's saying, I promise you it's not your store," the rabbi said. So after Motzei Shabbat comes, they go find out it was not his store. So the Gabbai said to the Gabbai came over to him, goes, "How could you say that? How'd you know?" He goes, "What is that? We call it in Brooklyn, we call it a nugget. When the Hachamim know something, they give you a nugget, they give you something." He goes, "Was it a nugget? Like, how do you know?" He goes, "No, I know Hashem doesn't give you something that you can't handle. And
Right.
if that guy fainted 3 times, clear that he can't handle it, so I know Hashem didn't give it to us." Okay, Reuben, pay attention, Reuben. You're not paying attention. I'm going to make you go like this, by the way. Okay, so we see from this, we know from the Rabba's answer, the secret behind Naaseh V'Nishma. You can learn it in a bad way, but you can also learn it in the real way, which we know at full bitahon that Hashem's not. It doesn't matter what it says, because we know whatever it says, we'll be able to handle it. But when we sinned with the egel, right, with kishehatu ba'egel, right, and we accepted upon ourselves another god, so to speak, nistar perush zeh. This understanding of the words Naaseh V'Nishma were hidden. Why? Because the fact that we believed in Hashem and we trusted in Hashem and we know that there's anybody like him, right? It didn't help because now retroactively, when the world heard that we said Naaseh V'Nishma, they were all in awe. Okay, but then Naaseh V'Nishma 40 days later, call it. All of a sudden we're doing the Egel a month and a half later. So now you say to this girl, "I love you," and now you run to the other one, you say, "I love you." So which one is it? Words are free. You can say what you want. It doesn't mean nothing. So the fact that they still said what they said, what we said, we don't, our words have lost credit because we don't know if you just say it. You just say it like that. You're just impulsive. You sign before you read. You say yes before you hear the question. Why? You see, we did it by God and he did it by the Egel. So it's not Dafka by Hashem. It's not a good thing anymore. They did it by Hashem. Now it's a bad thing. They did it by Hashem, right? So it wasn't. So they're saying that it's not. So the Goyim would say it's not because of the emunah. It's not because of the emunah. It's because that's just the way you are, right? Okay, good. So now let's get back. Let's get back to things. So this is why Moshe Rabbeinu Dafka went back and said specifically the Egel. Why the Egel? Because we said the whole question. Look, Yossi pops in. Let's see what Yossi is. Let's see what pool he's in. Yossi, where are you?
I'm in Ohio. Baruch Hashem,
Let's see. Put your video on.
all right, yeah, sure. Thank you. Hey guys, Baruch Hashem. Great to be here. Get a little bit of Torah. Really.
You still look like you're guiding.
I know. I have trouble just getting. I have trouble making changes. I'm very stuck in my. Anyway, enough about me. All right.
So
nice
we're
to
going
be here.
over a question. We're going over a question. We know that Moshe Rabbeinu tells Bnei Israel that you instigated God, you provoked God from the minute you left Mitzrayim. That's the word they use in the pasuk. Lemina yom asher yatzata miMitzrayim, from the day you left Mitzrayim until now, Bekadesh Baneya, 40 years later.
Yeah.
And then the next pasuk says, and by Har Sinai you also provoked God. So Zera Shimshon asks, why when you include from the minute you left Mitzrayim all the way until now, right, by the end of the 40 years, it also includes the Har Sinai. Why are you bringing up the Egel?
Yeah, we weren't provoking him then.
We did, but Moshe Rabbeinu goes back to say that you also provoked him by the Egel. It's the same thing. You said from Mitzrayim till now, it includes it. You didn't say the Meraglim. You didn't say Me Merivai. You didn't say.
All right. That's question one.
All you said was the Horeb. Why? So we explained that Hashem knows everything, and Hashem knows all our thoughts. We explained that Hashem knew that here come. Leo's coming in. Let's see all these books open. Hashem knew that Hashem knows what's in our minds, and He knows that we're Am Kishterov. He knew that from the beginning. But who didn't know that from the beginning? The world. The Umot Ha'olam. They didn't know. They only know what they saw. They didn't know what they didn't know what's behind the closed doors. They only knew what was. So when we did the Egel, right? This was known in the world now that they're impulsive. Like we wrote a Gemara in Masechet Shabbat that a meme came. It says Am Peziza. You guys are an impulsive nation. You just say whatever you want. You say yes all day long. Yeah. You know, you don't even hear the question. You say yeah, right? Because you said it to Hashem Naaseh V'Shma. You also said it to the Egel. So you look. It's not. So we see by the Egel what happened by the Egel, and we just accepted a new God like this. That it's to you we have there's no credibility, and it wasn't real love that we had. It just was what it was. That's the reason why Moshe Rabbeinu went back and said, even though Hashem knows everything from before and the rest of the world didn't, the Egel now made the world know what you did, how you felt. And then
so it was like a publicity. Like before, it was more internal.
Everybody knows.
Yeah. All right.
It's like your video was recording and now everybody saw what you did.
Yeah.
And now you can't take it back. So that's why Moshe Rabbeinu went Davka back to explain what you did. So now he goes back. This is the last part of the Dirasha. And he goes back at the end and he says, I think at the end of all this Tochacha, he says much later, Mamrim Hayiti Im Hashem Miyom Dati Etem. You guys were rebellious against Hashem from the day that I met you. You hear these words? Miyom Dati Etem, from the day that I knew you. What does that mean? It's even different than the words they said about Hashem. Hold on a second. Come in. Don't worry, Tiny sees this all the time. Say hi to my friends. Look, guys, this is Leo. Everyone knows about Leo. Yeah, you have it over there or no? Call Tanya and get. I don't even know where it is. Call Tanya, ask for out. Okay. So Moshe Rabbeinu says, I am even more from the day that I met you. What does that mean from the day that I met you? The kavanah that he's saying that even though that I thought this, meaning it was not known until the Egel, right? That Bnei Yisrael were a rebellious nation. That they were never shalim with Hashem from the beginning. That never happened. Okay, but what was? Sorry. But he's saying that I still knew that you're Am Kesher whatever. But he's saying that even though I knew this and I thought this, Hashem gave me a sin for it. Why? Because what does it say? Because by the sineh, what does Moshe tell him? Moshe says to Hashem, "Hen lo ya'aminu li." They're not going to believe me. So Hashem says, "Don't worry, they're going to believe you." The fact. What does Hashem say? He says they are believers and their children are believers, meaning they're believers. Their fathers are also believers. But you at the end, you're going to get punished because you're not going to believe in me. Why? Because what does it say? Because he says that if it wasn't for the fact that I didn't judge you favorably, I never would have hit the rock, which caused me never to go into Eretz Yisrael. Hashem punished me for the fact that even though Hashem knew, doesn't mean that I knew. I assumed that you had that you were Am Kesher. But the fact that it wasn't known in the world that you're Am Kesher, at the same time, Hashem punished me because I didn't give you the benefit of the doubt. Is that crazy? It says, Umasha Hazar Lomar Besof HaTochacha. At the end it says, right? Mamrim Eyitim Im Hashem Yom Yadati Etchem. You guys were rebellious to Hashem from the day that I met you. He's saying, Apa Pisha Hashavli, even though that's what I thought in my mind, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me a sin towards it. Why? Because I said they won't believe me. Ve'amar li, Hashem answers, Hem Ma'aminim Bene Ma'aminim. They are believers, and they are the children of believers, meaning their fathers also believers. Ata, you, by Memeriva, Sofcha, at the end, you're not going to believe in me. Because why? Because he said, talk to it. Instead of talking to it, he hit it. Why? Because he just got all crazy and he talked and he hit it. Right? And like it says in the Gemara on Shabbat, it says in the Gemara on Shabbat, this only happened because I didn't give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And for that reason, that's why I got punished. But the truth is that it's true. I was right. Even though I guessed and I got punished because I should have given you the benefit of the doubt, I'm still right. Right? Even though from the first day that I knew you, right? Even though Hashem told me Hashem himself knew that you in the future were going to sin. Even though Hashem still defended us, even though he knew that we were going to be Akashe Order. It's crazy. Even
Wait,
though
meaning he knew the eagle was coming, but nevertheless he still defended us?
and it defended us against the person who was also right. Moshe said that I knew from the day I met you. Oh, but you didn't give us the benefit of the doubt. Hashem said you got to get punished for that. Even though Hashem knew that we at the end we're still going to be Akashe Order. Hashem did not give the. You understand? That's how you know Hashem doesn't care if you're right. Follow the mitzvot. Follow the halakha. Follow the right way. Hashem tells you this. Today's Shnai Mikra V'Hat Targum is the basis of Mesilat Yesharim. What does God want from you? Right? It's not about none of it says to be correct. Hashem wants you to make peace. He wants you to be together with the people. That's why Shalom Bayit is so hard, because you're complete opposites. Most of the people on the Zoom call are complete opposites from their spouses. Why? Because that's the only way you grow. You're never going to grow if you marry the same person. If you marry who you are, you're never going to grow. You understand? So Moshe Rabbeinu, even though he was correct in his assumption that we are Am Kesherev, Hashem did it, and he wasn't even able to go inside of Eitzah because of it. This is where it stems from. Everything else was the result of this fact that he didn't believe. And even though that Hashem knew that, even though Hashem knew that he was correct, Hashem still defended us. Which is unbelievable that Hashem. So we should all be zocher through our limud. First of all, really, God bless you guys for coming on at 10 o'clock. Really, it's a big deal. It's beautiful. I miss everybody very much. And you should know, by the way, we're gearing up for the Hilulah Zera Shimshon. It's going to be August 20. Let me check. August 20. Hold on. August 22nd, Tuesday night, August 22nd.
I'm starving.
You don't talk to me. You had your chance. Okay.
That's true. You're right.
August 22nd, Tuesday night. Okay, there's going to be food. There's going to be Gedolim. I'll tell you this because I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll tell you anyway. The Yanuka might come. Okay, the Yanuka might come. We can't tell people because if he does come, then the place is going to get flooded. Okay, so we can't say that, but he might come. And if he comes, then Hadid, awesome. But if he doesn't, but even the half the event that he does say he's going to come, he doesn't come anyway because he's always something comes up. So it really is a 50-50 shot either way. So there's not Hashem in the zechut of our learning. In the zechut of our learning, we should understand what Hashem wants from us, which is to be do the right thing, right? Judge people favorably, even though you're right. It's not relevant. Don't let the Yitzhak convince you the whole purpose of life is to be correct, because that is not true. Okay, we are different, right? Right? We're the ones that we fall and they fall, but we get up and they don't get up. Why? Because they have they're the ones that have all the physical things, right? And they come in and they come out. We have spiritual things. When we have issues, we go pray. When we have issues, we go get berachot. That's what we do. Why? Because that's what Hashem tells us. We learn Torah. We learn Zera Shimshon. We read Tehillim. We give tzedakah. What kind of thing is that? You need money, give money. That makes no sense. That makes zero sense. You need money, give money. That doesn't make any sense. Why? But Hashem made the world. Hashem made it around, and that's the right way to do it. So, Davka, you boys have to understand. The most important thing is follow the Torah. Don't follow your instinct, your intellect. You follow what the halakha tells you to do. Right? The halakha says, "Haveh dan et kol adam lekaf zechut." Give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Don't judge someone until you're in their shoes. You think that's just a saying? No, that's not just a saying. That's not just a piece of advice. That's the way you got to be. That's exactly what Moshe Rabbeinu is admitting that he did wrong. If I would have listened, and I would have gave it the benefit of the doubt, even though I was right, right? I would be going in with you. All right, Baruch Adonai L'olam, Amen v'Amen. Hazak Baruch, boys.
Amazing. Valdi. Really good. Chazak Yamatz. Good Shabbos. Let's get this recording up online. Send me the file. I'll put it up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. No need to holler.